fascist, says he was fired after his debate with Mehdi Hasan on Jubilee's Surrounded. Now, apparently he's raised $24,000 on Give, Send, Go because we don't do cancel culture no more. That's right, even if you're a fascist. And well, all the liberals and leftists go, oh, Tim, are you defending a fascist? Y'all are communists. Nobody fires you, okay? Calm down. Not like I agree with the guy, but what power base does he represent? None. He's arguing that Donald Trump should violate the Constitution, and Trump is not. He says if he was, then good, I guess. Okay, and for this, he loses his job. Yet, I tell you this, communists can come out and advocate for mutilation of children, and no one fires them. So spare me your empty platitudes. Here's the clip in question.
All right, we'll look at the clip in question, and I'm going to give you a disclaimer right off the bat. I have to, with Jubilee, I'm going to have to put a still shot up because of copyright issues. But in this clip, guys, this is Tim Pool going after, Mehdi Hasan and the leftists for this debate that this particular young gentleman had with Mehdi Hasan on the Jubilee, 1 versus 20 kind of thing. And apparently this young man got fired after this debate. Now, I have actually not seen this clip, so we're going to watch it together for the first time, at least for me, the first time. So let's, without further ado, get right into it.
My next claim is that Donald Trump is defying the Constitution.
Nice to meet you. Pleasure to meet you, sir.
Mehdi, lovely to meet you.
So I would say that with Trump being anti-Constitution, I don't really care, to be quite frankly.
Okay.
Because in regards to the Constitution is a document that should seek to serve us. Yes. And when it fails to seek to serve us, that can be amended. Laws can be changed. And quite frankly, the fact is, we're defending things in this country that shouldn't be defended. The First Amendment should not defend pornography and making children and women be victimized. Making women and children be victimized as a result of that. I think things like blasphemy shouldn't be allowed per the First Amendment. I think that, quite frankly, there are a lot of legal processes that are enabling criminals and bad people to fully enact their will in this country in the name of the Constitution or following the Constitution. So, quite frankly, if Trump is anti-Constitution, good, and I think he should go further.
So this dude, I would make the arguments without seeing, without actually sitting down with him and having a full contextualized debate. It's not fair to just take a single clip and then make an argument about his position. But based on what we are seeing from this clip, I would argue he is incorrect on the Constitution, and he is more at issue with the structure of a deeply amoral and unfaithful nation and culture. That is, the Constitution is, what was the phrase, like wholly required of a working only for a faithful and moral society? The issue is not the Constitution. The issue, in fact, is a decaying society. But let me stay in the news for a minute and talk about the cancel culture.
Before he talks about the cancel culture, he probably, does understand the point that Tim is making, right? This is this big game show where people are running to a chair and everything else. I didn't really hear anything. I haven't seen the clip. I heard what happened to him, but I didn't see the clip. And now seeing the clip, I don't see what he said that was so horrendous, to be honest. I mean, but people won't understand. First of all, there's a Unitarian executive order or something like that. Like if things really got that bad, Trump would have, or any president would have the right to kind of, declare some sort of martial law. And then, you never know what you can declare martial law for. All you need is somebody to tell you that something is bad. I mean, and for the person who's going to sit here and comment underneath and say, you don't know what you're talking about, blah, blah, blah. They did it with COVID. Okay, that's pretty much, they didn't enact martial law, but my God, everybody sat and what did we do? Everybody went with it, right? So please, spare me. They will always find a tyranny will always find a reason. Now, anyway, so that's the thing. So the thing is that I don't trust people to do things like this because somehow I feel like they'll come after me instead of going after the bad guy. But he's really not saying, I thought he said something crazy. He's really not saying anything crazy, although these kind of things, they work a little bit because, shout out to him. He did raise some money, but let's get back into the clip.
We got this give, send, go. Homie's raised $24,000. He says, my name is Connor, and I was recently shown in the latest Jubilee episode. As a result, unfortunately, I was subsequently released from my job. I'm raising money as an emergency fund and for other expenses while I look for a new job. Unfortunately, voicing fully legal traditional right-wing political views results in real consequences. This is cancel culture and political discrimination on full display. I just went on the Riff TV where I shared my story of what happened. You can watch it here. I will be guesting on a podcast tomorrow, Riff TV Rumble, where I will be reading off the names and donations to say a verbal thank you to all of you who gave. And he says also, read off the names of a ton of people who already gave on that show. This is the only official fundraising campaign for myself. Any other campaigns claim to be mere impersonators. I will not DM anyone, yada, yada. We get it. So I don't know the full details of why he got fired. They say he identified himself only as Connor. He sat across from Hasan on the topic of discussion. Quite frankly, if Trump is anti-Constitution, good. After quoting Nazi political theorist Carl Schmitt and expressing admiration for Spanish dictator Francisco Franco, Hasan pressed the man on whether he was a fan of the Nazis and on whether he condemned the Nazi regime's persecution of Jewish people. Connor responded, I think that there was a little bit of persecution and stuff like that, which is bad. He also condemned the Nazis' treatment of the Catholic clergy. Stunned, Hasan remarked, we may have to rename this show because you're a little bit more than a far-right Republican. Hey, what can I say? And then he says, I think you can say I'm a fascist, Hasan said. The man laughed and said, yeah, I am. The conversation with Connor soon shut down after Hasan said he did not debate fascists. After the video went live, however, internet users sought to identify Connor. By late Monday, Connor launched a fundraiser claiming he had been subsequently fired. Unfortunately, voicing my opinion as I read, within 24 hours, the page exceeded its target. Watch it on YouTube. So let's just show this point where Mehdi says he won't debate a fascist.
This is wonderfully revealing of the modern conservative mindset. So I appreciate you spelling it out. So
I mentioned
the only good thing about this fascist moment we're in is that you guys are so open about it.
The whole reason I mentioned
the quiet part loud.
The
Keep saying
whole
it.
reason I mentioned Carl Schmitt earlier, and he kind of blew past him, is the friend-enemy distinction.
Past him because of the Nazi
even liberals, when they take power, they want to enact policies and they want to enact protections for their people and their ideas, and they're willing to punish their enemy. And so I'm the same way. I'm like, hey, if you're going to punish me, I'm going to get in power, and I'm going to frankly punish you when you try to leverage power against me. Just that simple.
I'm not sure what you want to say.
Wow.
Hey, it is what it is.
All right. Pause. You've been voted out by the majority. Please return to your seats.
It's a pleasure to meet you, sir.
I can't say the same, but thank you.
I would say it like this.
Before I let Tim talk, that is quite the reaction from Mehdi Hasan. He really shut him up. He really was silent afterwards, and that's really quite the reaction from him. Wow, I'm actually shocked at how he was. He tells him I can't say it. Like he's really personally hurt over this. I don't understand why. I like the guy has his own feelings. He didn't say I'm here to hurt you. Like I don't understand why. I guess maybe because he said it out loud. I don't know. What did he say? But anyway, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button and the notification bell. Thank you to every eye that lands on these videos.
Friends, the first thing I want to point out, there is a pressure on higher profile personalities, largely like myself. If I would like to sit down with an individual like Mehdi Hasan, I have to be as nice as possible and forgiving to terrible positions, which I won't do. And so it is hard typically to book liberals if I'm going to come after them and refuse to play their stupid games. But let me just say this, okay? Because I'm going to rag on Mehdi to a great degree. I want to at least defend myself. I went on Bill Maher, and I had many people saying, Tim, why were you letting Bill Maher get away with this? Bill Maher was very nice to me. He didn't lie about me. He didn't make false accusations about me. He didn't misrepresent my values. He just had a different opinion. And I thought it was actually quite enjoyable. He was very respectful. You get the respect you give. Kyla Turner, for instance, who's going to be at one of our Culture War events, we had a very respectful conversation. I went after her, but I give the respect that I give. If you want to treat me like crap and go to war, we'll play that game. And when Adam Conover tried being snide and snooty with me, I pushed back on him. And the same thing with Luke Beasley. Don't be a smarmy a-hole if I'm trying to have a conversation with you and everything will be okay. But people like Mehdi Hasan, we want to book him. I'd love to sit down and talk with him. He gave up on that point. He gave up because Connor is correct. And this is not, it's of two ideologies, anarchism and fascism. It's the idea, and I would argue this, it's the willingness to be honest about the use of force. I certainly believe communists and nay, all ideologies that are learned understand the application of force and how you can apply whatever you want to whatever you want so long as you have the ability to do it. That's kind of what anarchists believe, that the only thing you can have is what you're willing to enforce. And fascists believe largely similar. I believe it is a fact statement. In this world, you can claim anything you want, and if someone has the ability to end your life or stop you from doing it, then and they have the will to do it, I should add, then that will be done. So right now, if Republicans are sitting back and allowing Democrats to do whatever it is they're doing or had done without repercussion, Republicans will lose. It is that simple. Imagine it like sumo wrestlers. They both have the ability and they've both trained and they can use that power and push against each other, and maybe they just don't move at all. And that sustains the balance in a governmental system. But when one side becomes unwilling or unable to push back, it will get crushed and you will then be oppressed. So for Mehdi Hasan, who I assume is unlearned on these issues, he's certainly a smart guy. I'm not trying to doubt that. But he represents the dishonest fascist, whereas Connor represents not even fascism, not even. You see, what really bothers me about this is that Mehdi is closer to fascism than Connor is, but Connor's been tricked into thinking he's the authoritarian bad guy. Connor's response, at least in this video, because I don't know what his full positions probably are if we were to navigate all of his views, it's largely that people will wield power against their enemies, so we must defend ourselves and stop them from wielding power against us. That's not fascism. Fascism does contain a component of the precept, there is no truth but power, but so does anarchy, and so does literally any other authoritarian ideology, or not even authoritarian ideologies. In this regard, Mehdi Hasan is saying, I won't debate you, you're a fascist, you're out. This guy's saying, you have wielded power against us for evil reasons, we will wield that power in kind, is not fascism.
Yeah, and I mean, at the end of the day, Mehdi Hasan was like lame. I don't know what made him so mad. I mean, come on, think about it. You know, this person is just very weirdo. Like, you know, he answers to his side more than anything else, right? His so-called leftist, whatever he is. You know, these are the type of people that'll tell you, if you don't believe that a man could be a woman and a woman could be a man, that you are, you know, some sort of horrible person, that you know, they need to do something with you. Maybe you need a re-education camp or something. Don't moral judge me. Don't moralize me into a corner and think you're better than me because you fell for certain propaganda or whatever. You sound good, you know? I'd rather just sound like me, you know? And Connor, I mean, look, he just laid it out there, and I really don't know what he said that was wrong. Like, okay, now I'm fired. Now what? I was doing the job perfectly fine, perfectly well. The whole time, he never had any problems with me. And I held these views the whole time I was there. Now you know, it wasn't going to change the work ethic. And Mehdi Hasan just sits there and he just silences. He got scared, though. But you know what? I kind of like that moment, you know? Because these people, these fake, these establishment leftists too. Mehdi Hasan doesn't even stand. Let me tell you something, okay? Mehdi Hasan is supposed to be a leftist, and when he talks about certain issues, you can hear the establishment, like the shilling in his voice. You know what? I'll leave it there. I like the way it ended, and I'll just leave it there. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.